Executive Vice President assures crowds exceeding expectation. This is important because people are seeing the league. They're saying there's not enough crowds. There's something, this isn't going to work. This is not what the plan is. Remember, this is a slow thing. This isn't like, this is our best, we're going to spend all this money on this league. This is a slow build. They've been talking about this and preaching this over and over again. So week one saw the USFL saw a ratings win for Fox and its network partner NBC, and the USFL pulling in millions of viewers during the inaugural weekend. However, week two saw significantly less eyeballs drawn from the league's opening weekend. The USFL saw approximately a 57% drop in viewership across 4 games in week 2 versus week 1. For comparison with other spring leagues, the XFL saw a 34% drop from week 1 to week 2. AAF saw a 69% dip in their week 1 to week 2 audience. All leagues hosted 4 games each weekend. TV ratings are a much discussed aspect of spring football leagues. They are a barometer of how sustainable the product is and are inevitably compared with competing sports events, including NBA, NHL, MLB, F1, and MLS. In an extensive thread posted to his Twitter profile, Fox Executive Vice President of Marketing Robert Gottlieb made it clear that the ratings drop or the sparse crowds are not indicative of decreased interest in the league. To the contrary, according to Gottlieb, the USFL and specifically the Birmingham Stallions are outperforming expectations. Quote, some perspective on the launch of the USFL and how the season is playing out to date. As many have noted, this has been being built for the long term. The hub model and fiscal responsibility at the outset are key factors in building a league that will last. We've heard about this. Gottlieb went on to highlight Birmingham's infatuation with the Stallions as a mark of the league's success, though there appeared to be less individuals in their Week 2 matchup with the Houston Gamblers compared to their Week 1 game against the Jersey Generals. He said, we expected to have modest fan turnout for Birmingham Stallions games. So far, the support for the Stallions has exceeded expectations. If you're in the area, come to a game. You'll feel the rush and growing energy in Birmingham for this team. This city is falling in love with this team. Now, the numbers were, the other XFL teams, but you got to think, I don't know. $10 tickets, kids get in for free. The stadium can seat 47,000. It's not like, the St. Louis Battlehawks when they were coming on and, they tried to open more and get more and more people were coming. So I'm not sure about that. The crowds are even more thinned out for non-Stallions matches to the point where there is little presence in the stands at all. Gottlieb did express hope for Birmingham residents to appear at more games, but did relent that this is more of a wish than a solid expectation. Quote, we knew games without the home team would likely have very few fans attending. To date, that's played out as expected for a brand new league. We're hopeful more and more Birmingham residents will come out to non-Stallion games as we move forward, but we have realistic expectations. Gottlieb is predictably positive in his assessment of the Birmingham citizens partaking in the USFL thus far. This is said despite the team's capacity being able to play in a 41,000-seat venue and have yet to even fill it to half capacity. Alternative football leagues are no strangers to similar ratings drops when attempting to build clout with a new audience. One accomplishment, the USFL will attempt to hold over the XFL 2.0 and AAF is a full season regardless of viewership fluctuation. Weeks 3 ratings and beyond will continue to be monitored and shed light on the USFL's continued exposure and presence among casual and football-minded viewers. So basically, this is a long thread that he put out. This is kind of where they expected to be. They didn't expect to see sellout crowds for every single game. People who criticize the league because when the Birmingham Stallions aren't playing, like this is a joke and this sucks. I knew that. And I'm not a Fox Sports executive. I knew there wasn't going to be anybody for these games when their home team wasn't playing. I have said from the beginning, I think the best approach for season 2, that's my fear of season 2 and beyond, because if you're not going to get people footing the bill for these home teams and these home leagues, and plus Birmingham is not an easy, I have a feeling they will be in a hub situation next year. If they do this again next year with the same setup, then I think it's kind of a problem. I think what they have to do next year, I don't think these teams will move into their home markets next year. What they would have to do is at least have one game where Houston plays in Houston, New Jersey plays in New Jersey. You have to do at least one game next year. Because this is, they're around where they expected things to be. But again, if you really want to generate that buzz and interest, you need to have one game in their home stadium, just one for next year. You can't do this for 3 years in a row of just having all their games playing in Birmingham, because it's going to come to a point where Birmingham goes undefeated. Everybody's going to say, oh, well, because they have all home games. But this is the plan for year one. Everything is going according to plan. No need to fret now. You just have to kind of be patient and see what year two really brings, because this is the way it's going to be definitely for year one.